recording here. So yeah, we're playing some Zarya to start here.
That's a ball up there.
1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Man, I can't believe they're playing ball into a Sombra.
Pharaoh. Oh, that ball knows how to roll out, bro. He's already up in our flank.
That's fine. Need heals real quick?
Repositioning.
I died. I can't res.
Okay.
Alright, so when you know Hanzo's just sitting on the side like that and you have 80 energy, just get really aggressive and push right up on top of him. You don't have to be scared in those duels when you know that you have the clear advantage.
Okay.
Right, so if you know you're gonna win, like you have an advantage in a duel, you want to be more aggressive. When you know that you're probably gonna lose the duel, you might not even want to take the duel.
Just wait for Ryan.
Okay, we're using bubbles a little bit early. Make sure that we're looking to use bubbles when we see damages coming in, right? If we're using bubbles just as soon as we get them, then we're not going to really be getting much energy out of them or value out of them.
Bubble.
Whoa, I'm in their team!
On the flanking. Up high. Andy.
Where?
On the bar.
Ah.
Hey, yeah, 59. Still 550 though.
Can I go VAP?
That was good.
Back up?
Kara's one-shotting. Oh, this might be winnable here. We're really split.
Alright, so it seems like once we get up to that high energy, we're not putting ourselves in positions a lot where we're able to utilize it. So make sure you're putting yourselves more at a range where you can, actually shoot at enemies. So we did do that when we went on the Hanzo, but at that point we ended up being too far out on our own and we got punished from the ball.
Oh shit.
Pharaoh. Watch the Pharaoh.
I have grab here. Ryan, you good?
Oh jeez, I'm annoyed to regroup. Alonzo's some bullshit, bro.
I died. Get red.
Okay. I'll demonstrate this later, but with your grabs, try not to hit people directly. You always want to try to hit the ground in between people, because when you hit people directly, it actually stops grab from progressing, and they'll kind of body block it.
Oh, gotcha.
Yep, and I'll demonstrate this in the practice range after we're done this game.
Play this corner back here.
I died.
Clear impact area. Area denied.
Alright, so now that I've gotten a little bit of a feel for your gameplay, if it's okay with you, I'm going to start, I mean, like, cause I'm gonna ask your permission first here, and this is something that I'm kind of experimenting with. Is I know that people in the past have said that they like this. But if it's okay with you, I'd like to kind of almost shot call for you and tell you what to do in these certain scenarios, so that you can see what should be running through your head, right? When should we be bubbling? For what should we be bubbling? Kind of what should we be pushing? When should we be getting aggressive? When should we be backing up? So in general, I didn't give you a chance to answer there. So
Oh
Would
yeah,
that be alright with
that's
you?
fine. Yeah, 100%.
Okay, so yeah, I'll go through that. So far, I'd probably say we're struggling a little bit with our aggression, bubble usage, and then the you turn off the stream, or
Oh,
it's
sorry
back.
about that. Do
Thank you.
you see it again?
Attack
Yep.
commences in 30 seconds.
My game's like quiet.
hmm
Okay. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. So it seems, yeah, I'll emphasize the point on bubbles after the game's done because I don't have much time to go over it currently, but we'll.
I think I mean I definitely noticed multiple times. They had projectiles. I could have waited till I saw the actual damage coming
Oh.
at the Reinhardt.
Capture objective A.
Okay, so right when we turn this corner, we're
Oh,
probably
bubble
gonna look
now?
to bubble Ryan. Yep. That's unfortunate because he did shield. If you like to talk in team chat, you can just tell him like I'm bubbling you in 3, 2, 1, right, and count it down for him. Okay, Zen's on our left room. We're probably gonna look to go and contest the people on the left side. Alright, we can. Right now, our number one priority is getting our energy up.
Yeah. I'm just waiting on Ryan. Bubbling you. Just walk on them. Walk on Sig. Walk on Zen left.
Yep, good aggression. When you're bubbling your Reinhardt, if you see that no one's shooting at him, try to do it when he's closer to them, right? When he can actually swing. You want to try to time it for when you see Reinhardt swinging rather than when you see him shielding. Because all these times that we're bubbling him, he's shielding, and that means that we're not really going to get any value out of it. So instead, wait until he's putting his shield down. Yep, right now we just want to wait for our Reinhardt to push forward. We have some people back in spawn, so good bubble. Right now we're down a Reinhardt. Yeah, we just want to kind of poke a choke currently. Can't really push forward without him. Now that we're high energy, all of our bubbles are mainly directed towards tanking. Right, so really watch those hooks is a really big one that we can very easily stop with our bubbles, right? If he lands a hook, we bubble it, and then he's safe. Okay, right now we should be pressing tab. Yep, seeing if there's anything that we can combo with our grab.
We should go upper and force that soldier out. He's got visor sitting up there.
Something I would probably be calling to our team is maybe something like, let's grab Nano Ryan, right? That's a combo that we can get off pretty easily.
Anna, can you nano Ryan when I hit a grab? Can't see you, sorry.
Good bubble usage. I think our personal bubble usage is very good. We're struggling a little bit just with the projected bubbles. Right now we do not want to be using bubble because since we have used a lot of ults and we seem to be winning. Except for now they just flip that around very, very fast.
Just die here quick. Yeah, the Ryan was 1 HP. I just did try and save him, but it's unfortunate. Okay, they're gonna have grab. They're on hog. They've been on hog. He missed. Take damage from me, Ryan. Zarya 1, left side. Try. Bubble didn't go off. I need heals. Need heals. Again. I'm just dead.
Hey, good job getting out with your energy there. Look to bubbly Reinhardt in when he's like going to swing, right, rather than
Okay.
bubbling him when he's like super far away from them.
Oh, sorry, I don't have bubble. I don't have bubble. Zarya's low. SW key.
Right, now that we
I was the
never mind.
second. Oh, I thought I killed her.
Good job pushing up for those stagger kills. Just make sure your team's with you, right? If we're pushing too
Yep,
far forward
yep.
without them, then might end up getting killed. Okay, again, we have grab here, so we're looking to use this in this next fight.
Can you nano Ryan when I grab? The contest here. I might not need.
We'll probably need it here. You are down 1 currently. Down 2 as well. Now you're even.
I waited too long.
No, make sure you're not hesitating with that usage. The faster that we use our ultimate, it means we're always going to get more values. So just as an example here, if they use their grab first, their grab is going to secure kills, which means that now they have the manpower advantage, which means that if you use grab second, your grab just gets less value. So whenever an ultimate is used first, it's always going to get more value unless, you know, the fight hasn't even started yet. So always try to look to use your fight as early as possible, as long as the fight's going on.
Okay, I'm looking for grab. Nano Ryan when I hit it. Okay. I tried to bubble her. We're down our Ana, place low.
Okay, we're holding on to grab a little too long. Keep in mind that this is last fight here, so we need to be looking for one. And we probably have to be the ones who are touching. So we have to go for the touch on point. Alright, so make sure you're looking to use grab earlier, right? 2 kills or 2 people in a grab is really all you need. You don't need to look for a 6-man grab. So I have a bunch of things to go over here. I'm gonna open up Overwatch as well. But just to start off, we can start off going over how to tell whether or not you're winning or losing a fight. This is going to be based off of kill feed. You might have heard me talk about this if you're watching my YouTube videos, but you just want to watch kill feed, and what kill feed will allow you to do is tell if you're up or down people in your fight. If you're up 1 to 2 players, right, you get 1 to 2 kills on your team. That means that you are winning the fight. You have an advantage. If you are up 2 to 3, that means that you've pretty much won the fight. Okay. Now that means that you don't want to use any more ultimates. But this also goes the exact opposite way. If you're down 1 to 2, that means that you're at a disadvantage. Oh, I think I cut out there when I joined the game. When was the last time you heard me talk?
You said now that means.
Okay. Yep. Now that means that this also goes the other way. When you're down 1 to 2, that means that you are at a disadvantage. When you're down 2 to 3, that means that you have pretty much lost the fight, right? That means that you want to pretty much just get out of there, right? You want to die or get out if possible, and then you die if you can't get out. A lot of the time on Zarya, you're going to look to get out so you can get out with ult charge, but essentially what that meant in your last couple of fights there was we were waiting way too long on our ultimates, right? And we're waiting until after we've already lost the fight to even start looking for ults. And why this matters is we don't have to look for a 6-man ult, because if we get 2 people on our ultimate and we get those kills, that is pretty much almost a 1 fight, right? You don't need to get 6 people to secure a fight win, which means that with our grab, we can look to just grab 2 people rather than looking to grab, a whole team, especially if they're on a comp where they're all split up like the comp that they were just running.
Okay.
Okay. Now we're
Yeah,
gonna
you're right. That makes sense.
we're gonna go over a bunch of tech-y stuff now. With your first, we're gonna emphasize bubbles. So, bubbles is the most important part of your kit on Zarya. When you land bubbles, bubbles provide tanking. You're pretty much your only source of tanking as Zarya. They provide tanking, and they also provide your energy, right? And your energy will give you damage, and your damage will give you kills, and your kills will give you fight wins, and your fight wins will give you round wins and therefore wins of games. On top of that, extra damage also means more ultimates, right? When you get putting out more damage, that also means that you are getting your ult faster. So therefore, your bubble will impact pretty much all aspects of your gameplay while you are playing Zarya. So if you have bad bubble usage, you're going to be struggling because you're not going to be able to do any damage, right? There's a big difference between the amount of damage you're doing right here and the amount of damage you're doing when you're at 100 energy. So make sure you're trying to use your bubbles correctly. That means that we're looking to use our bubbles when we know damage is coming in. So projectiles are very good kind of example of this, where if we see Pharah, rockets, Ryan Fire Strike, we can very easily see this and use bubble accordingly. But then the other things to look for is whenever you can get a kind of double effect of using bubbles for tanking and bubbles for energy as well. When you use bubbles for tanking, the majority of the time you will get energy in return. So if you, for example, bubble, like someone on your team gets hooked by Hog, you bubble, you save their life, you get energy. Okay. The enemy Reinhardt charges someone on your team. You bubble, you save their life, you get energy. Your team's in a grab. You bubble yourself and somebody else, you get a ton of energy. You're keeping people alive, right? So we can use our bubbles during ultimates, when people are having abilities used on them. So we can use these for tanking and get a lot of value out of it, and then on top of that, get a lot of energy out of it. So whenever possible, look to be using our bubbles for tanking. And a lot of the time with our Reinhardt, we're rushing our bubble to where we're bubbling him pretty much the instant that an enemy even sees him, right? That's the instant that an enemy sees him isn't always gonna be the time that he's getting shot at, right? If we're turning this corner and the enemy, and this is like the bots, right, and we're just turning this corner and then going like this, right, the second we turning, we might not get value out of that bubble because of the fact that they're not always all going to be shooting at him, right? So instead we can wait until Reinhardt's within swinging distance, right? That way he drops his shield, that way he's actually gets value out of the bubble because he can be doing damage with it. So we're supporting a Reinhardt, not just using the bubble for our energy.
Okay.
So
I had a question for you, kind of related to that. So, as far as bubbles go, I mean, that was like almost the most standard Brian Zarya map. And we're playing against, at certain points, Ball Hog, right? So, after we lost a fight multiple times, we'd be in that regrouping phase. I'm pressing the button, group up, kind of just hanging out, chilling, trying to make sure we're not in LOS, feeding ult charge. And one of the two DPS are poking, trying to build their ult and get hooked. But I don't have LOS to bubble them. Should I be playing against a Hog? Should I be trying to play in a position while regrouping that I can bubble somebody if the Hog does push?
Essentially what happened is our DPS, for example, like let's say this is the corner that we're playing on, right? Our DPS is sitting right here, and we're sitting right here, and Hog's over here, right? What we can do is instead of sitting back here, we can be right up on this corner, and that means that they still can't shoot at us, right? If they turn the corner, we have self bubble, we can back around this box, right? Except for if someone gets bubbled, then we can just peek forward with a bubble, right?
So safe play somewhere.
Yes, especially if you have your team to back you up, right? They can't really cross the choke. If you have 4 people alive there, right? Then if they try to cross choke, you have 4 people that can punish them for that. Now, if you're the only person alive, then you don't even need to be that far up, right? Because no one's even gonna be poking for you to bubble.
Okay, and then I had a question as far as like bubbling Brian goes.
Yep.
So with that comp, we did not have a Lucio for a majority of the game.
Yep.
And we're playing against I don't know, it was kind of like it was a ranked comp, if you will.
Yep.
And they're all over the place, they're not playing together. Should we still be looking, and obviously I'm not the Reinhardt, I can't really dictate this, but I can help enable it. Should we be looking to speed on or play passive enough where we can speed out if we get pushed too hard?
So
on our defense.
On your defense, you want to be looking when you're on defense, you want to be looking to play choke points and corners, which on King's Row there's a lot of. On King's Row you don't really need to be super passive because you can hold these choke points, right? I guess we can. Oh, I can't even go into your last game. I mean, if I had the replay, I could show you, but like, there's a lot of corners and chokes that we can look to hold that don't require us to really give up too much space. Because on Ryan and Zarya, we're a brawl comp. We want to be up and close and personal with people. Now, there are specific instances where we might want to kind of hold at what you would call no man's land. Now I can go over or go in a whole tangent on what no man's land is if we.
I did I heard you talk about it in one of your
Mm,
videos. That's like the area where you want to force the enemy team to have the path. So whatever damage you
yes.
do have, they have to use cooldowns to
Mhm.
mitigate.
Yes. Yep. Exactly.
So
So
that's why I was trying to tell my Rhine on 3rd point defense to play that back corner because of where the cart was, so they had the path across all that open space to us
so
instead of
right,
all playing the
you're
front
saying third
corner.
point.
Yeah, so
So you're
instead of
saying
this
instead of here,
corner,
this one.
yeah.
Yep. Exactly. Yep. That's exactly what you should probably be looking to do. Um.
I mean, I can't control
mm,
that if I'm not the Reinhardt necessarily. I think
Yeah.
he kind of got caught out and fed, but
Yeah, if so, another I mean I can't recall this specific fight we're referring to here, but if you see that your whole team's going up, if it's just your Reinhardt and that's it, then let them do it, let them feed. Now if your whole team, if you have 5 people doing that, then you need to go and join them. So a phrase that the Jane, the coach. So this is a just in case you're unfamiliar with him, he's a popular streamer who also was a Overwatch League coach for a very long time. He says that when one person is sorry, when one person is doing something stupid, that's called throwing. When 6 people are doing something stupid, that's called a strategy.
yeah, I've heard that before.
Yep.
Clever.
So if that's the correct positioning, but we have 5 people on our team up there, we should be with the 5 people. Even though this is the right answer, it's the wrong answer in that situation to stay back there.
Right. I mean, obviously,
Oh.
you can see like the large gaps in SR for different roles. So like I'm familiar with playing in, you know, higher elos where, as far as like tank goes, I find it a little more difficult to carry hard enough
Yeah.
to make up for everyone else's mistakes. Not saying that they're, the reason that I'm losing
Mhm.
or not able to climb. I'm saying that
Yeah.
if I get good enough, I can climb by mitigating their mistakes by carrying.
Yep.
So that's kind of what I was hoping to achieve here.
Together, we are strong.
But go ahead, continue. I'm sorry. I
Yeah,
cut you off.
so yeah, a good you'll definitely be able to do that, especially if you're like getting a lot better with your bubbles and you're going to be a higher energy, more damage is going to mean that you're going to be able to carry harder. Um so another thing, and like we'll just get into some more techie aspects here. Keep in mind that when you should be looking to use your right click to finish off targets here. So your right click, you got the right where you're using your right click at when someone's too far away, and then you're using your left click in every other scenario. But we're not using right click enough when it comes to just standard finishing off targets here. So if somebody's low like this, right, we can add in a right click and a melee, and that will burst them down. Now, whenever we can kill somebody faster, that's always going to be better, because when something dies fast, they have less time to heal, to get away from you, to use abilities, to use tanking abilities, right? And therefore, you're more likely to secure the kill. So if we can, and even when you're high energy, you're even going to be able to do this when they're even higher energy, so more like half of their HP, right? But we're able to burst down their health by just kind of running around and right-click meleeing. Now, if they're outside of your melee range, we can just right click, and then if we're too far away, right, we're all the way out here, you might just want to continue left clicking, because right clicking will have travel time and it's gonna be hard to hit from this distance, right? So if you're too far away, then just keep on left clicking. But if we're up right next to them, we always want to follow this up with a right click melee, and then that's going to do extra damage and finish them off a lot easier. Now we want to apply this kind of a sorry, that I didn't mean to say that. But with our graph here, what I was referring to is before in our game here is we want to be looking to aim more at their feet in between these guys rather than hitting this guy directly. So if we hit this guy directly, you'll notice that we're pretty much it's gonna not he's gonna stop it with his body, and he walked into it, but he's gonna stop it with his body, and it's
Same
not gonna.
effect as Bob, right?
Yeah.
If it hits something, it stops in that position, doesn't
Yep.
go where you want it to go.
A good example of this as well is nade, right? They body block it to where it's not hitting anybody else. So if instead we look to land it in the feet in between them, then we're gonna be getting them both, right? Instead of just getting the one. Now this might take a second because I don't have energy here, but you can just so we can get the demonstration in there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, this is taking much longer than I thought it would, so we'll commit. We're already 90.
You're an Ana player, right?
That's just, you see that just my that's just because that's my peak. I actually played DPS. When if I go to competitive, right? I've played DPS for my
Mid
past
camp?
couple of seasons.
Oh,
Well, I do have a decent amount of
What?
experience. I can coach every role. Because just for example here, what season is it? I peaked 4200 or 4240, right? 4240 on tank, 46 or sorry, 4460 a 6 on DPS, and then 4468 on support.
gotcha.
Right, so if we're waiting for these guys to come back, we can just land in the middle here, and now we're getting both of them, right? Instead of just body blocking
Do
it.
you know off the top of your head what the range is?
I believe 6
Is that
meters.
below?
They I know a while ago they lowered it from 8 meters, and I believe it's 6 meters currently.
Okay. All right, that was a lot.
Yep.
But obviously, you know, there's a reason I'm in the platinum ranked for a tank. You know, there's going to be a lot of mistakes being made. Um, hopefully, I get a game as. Do you want me to queue up again?
Yeah, yep. Queue up.
Reinhardt as well. So, I mean, I've played pretty much every tank. Hog is probably my lowest win rate, generally because the only times I pick it is when I have a ball one trick, ball main,
Yep.
and I'm not great at that type of composition. I'm going to work on that in the future.
Well, Zarya can work with balls decently. Oh, I think I know somebody on the enemy team. Do you mind typing to Boogie says hi?
Which one is it?
Master Ping.
It's funny. Perfect, Reinhardt.
Nice.
He's gonna think it's you playing.
Yeah.
Attack commences in 30 seconds.
That's perfect. We'll get him nervous. Okay, so we have double hit scan, we have Lucio, so we have speed.
Yep.
A lot of shield break, so I guess we can kind of just.
And you guys are also running
Double
Lucio Ana,
advantage.
so we're gonna look to play pretty aggressive, especially when we're closer to. If we're playing at a further range, then we might want to just let our DPS do work.
Pocketed out upper. They're giving us free space here. Oh no, they're not.
Yep, good shield
one.
decision.
You got
Just
me
our
out.
shield back. Make sure you're looking to fire strike off a cooldown, right? Every single time that you get it, you're looking to fire strike. Of course, unless you're about to die if you do it.
I'm one. I'm letting my shield recharge. Oh, I'm one. Need heals. Lucio, can we speed into them in 3, 2, 1? Just walk on this run.
Okay. You did block the shatter, so once you block that shatter, you want to be swinging if you have that nano available, right? When you have those advantages, you be more aggressive.
Play backside of cart. We can punish this Ryan. Walk in this Ryan.
He has no shield being a
Mostly
shatter. Oh. Yep, good shatter, right? Just pay attention to the fact that he doesn't have shield there.
I fed.
Alright, yep. The big thing is just on Reinhardt, you want to pay attention to when you have advantages, when you don't have advantages. So when you have shield, when you have health, that's an advantage. When you don't have shield, when you don't have health, that's a disadvantage. When you have bubble, that's an advantage. When you have nano, that's an advantage, right? So when we have all these kind of buffs, we want to be making sure we're playing more aggressive.
Ana.
Just make sure you're throwing in those fire strikes. Yep, that's just gonna be your most efficient way to get your ult charge, because you can hit someone from any range with that and hit multiple people. Right.
The res soldier.
Okay, right now we are up
flanking right
one.
side.
We're up one currently, so we can look to play a little bit more aggressive. Okay, very good.
Nice job, soldier.
And so we know that they used Shatter before we used our Shatter, right? So we know that
Right,
they're
Ryan
probably
has
going to have it
Shatter.
again.
We can kill this Ash probably.
Make sure we're not pushing the other side of No Man's
Yeah,
Land,
cut
right?
out, cut out, cut out, cut out.
If you see a Ryan
Way
pin in...
overset it.
Sorry, I'll talk about that after you die. My bad, I shouldn't have talked there. If you see a Reinhardt pin like that, and you see he's missing you, right? What you can do is pin in after him, right? And kind of go behind him, and then you can, because he's in a animation that he can't cancel, that you can kind of catch him off guard very easily.
Okay. Play slow, we're coming back quick.
60 seconds remaining.
When you come back from spawn, you can look to just charge back, and then that's a faster mobility. Right?
Oh, he canceled my charge. Oh, he's back left, he's back left. He's dead.
Okay, you're up 2 right now, and you have health available. You're looking to get super aggro. Right, just watch your health because you are slightly low here. Now we're pretty much, they only have like
Walk
2,
in the
3
trap,
people
walk in the
alive.
trap. Kill Ryan, kill Ryan.
We have all our health, right? Yeah, just get super aggro on these guys. Swing, swing, swing.
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
Watch hook. Oh,
We still want to be cleaning up these
We can
kills.
kill,
If
we
we,
can kill.
yep, we got 3 picks. We're just looking to get these staggers. Just make sure you're careful because they are walking back from spawn now. Pay attention to where your team's at.
yeah, yeah.
Right? If you only have Zarya there, then that's the situation where you back up.
Back up, back up, back up, back. I have no shield.
It's the same thing like we talked about before. It's a good decision to go
Let's play
put
this
forward
corner.
there, but if your team doesn't go with you, then it's a bad decision.
Zarya, you have energy. Can you go upper? I'm one. Ryan's one. Can we kill? I'm one.
Okay, so there we just got a little bit too
Overhead.
aggro, especially with the charge on the bomb.
That was an accident trying to
oh.
countercharge Ryan. Yeah, I would normally never do that. Okay. Just live, try and live. So obviously I don't want to be wasting a bunch of shield, but
If that means if you can, just try to get people to come right side and get
Hey,
into
can
that
we
cover
walk
on the right.
Oh, Hog's dead. Let's go. Don't let them res. I'm gonna look for Shatter here. Kill lamp.
A lot of
let's
the times at the very end of shatters or the end of grabs, that's where you can look to charge, right? You don't want to charge at the beginning because then you just boop everyone around. But if they're about to wake up anyways, then it doesn't matter as much, right? And then that can help you secure a kill, especially on the tanks who have a lot of health.
Okay, I'm chilling out. Run on the ground, I'm dead. Oh, no. I'll west side if you can. I should have just backed up, I feel like. Don't go in. Okay. Ash is upper, he's behind you. Try and get out.
Keep in mind,
Back,
you guys
back.
were even there, right? So if it's a 5v5, that's not a lost fight.
Okay. I guess I just committed to my decision.
Remaining.
I didn't look at kill feed there. I'm gonna go look for a shatter here. Ryan does have shatter too. Can we push this Ashe up high ground? Let him my shield recharge and then we go. Okay, let's go. Ryan is behind looking for a flank shatter. Push this Ryan out. Unlucky. It's the last fight I kind of have to commit. Playing as slow as possible here.
Right, so I liked how you were using cover there at the end, and you saw how long you could survive just by using cart as cover. Make sure look and do that a little bit more often, especially when you know that you're going to be taking a lot of damage, right? If your shield's gone, if you're trying to push up through mid. Also, don't feel like you have to push up through mid and kind of slam your head into that over and over and over again if it doesn't seem to be working. Call to go left side, call to go bottom right, top, like over top right. There's a lot of different areas that you can try to go through that isn't just through mid, especially when that is a very, very easy choke to hold you guys and stop you from running through.
Okay, you noticed that I wasn't in voice the whole time. I was
Yeah,
calming that entire game. I didn't realize.
Justice will be done.
Armor. How positively medieval.
Reinhardt, you said you would arm wrestle me. Nervous?
He must have figured out it wasn't you.
No, I'm not funny enough to come up with that type of joke.
Okay, we have a Symmetra
4, 3,
soldier.
1. Attackers incoming. Stop the payload.
A Widow, they have a monkey.
Okay. Okay, after we get a little poke in, we're trying to back up to this next
Okay,
corner.
Yeah, play the back corner here.
Right. Yep, we get that choke going.
I love that Widow.
Good fire strikes. Make sure those are trying to go like, in the most concentrated place where you're gonna get the most people.
I'm chilling out corner. We're down 2. Gonna need to back. Keep backing. Keep backing. Give up the space. Try and live here, Zarya. They have no boobs.
Try to be a little bit more aggressive when you have the health and the barrier to back it up.
Alright.
And then if you
one.
and then when you're low, that means that you just back up, right? But when you don't have the health, when you don't have the barriers, then you need to play more passive. Okay. Get super aggro, just run at them, right? When we have that nano line, we have that damage reduction that can tank a lot of our damage.
Okay, chill out.
Right now, we need to be
Look at monkey,
backing
look at
up.
monkey. Oh. Get greedy.
Yep, the big thing here, Ryan, is you just need to manage your aggression. I think that was something on Zarya too, is just you need to be more aggressive when you have, when you have health, when you have the nano, and less aggressive when you don't, because you seem to be slightly passive, a little too passive when you have like nano boosts online, and you seem to be slightly too aggressive when you're like half HP, right? It's just slightly off, which means that when we can fix that, then we're gonna be dying a lot less and getting a lot more value out of our nanos and out of our when we have health.
Do right side, Widow and Ash right side. Can we flush them out?
If they're on their own still, we can, in that situation, we can look to like maybe solo shatter that. Very, very nice. Good charge. I was about to mention just at the end of it, right? Very last second, we're just looking to add that in right before they wake up.
Yeah, I was trying to get it on a Zarya or something.
Yep, it can really be on anyone, right?
I can't help you out. Oh, yeah, I can. Come. Okay, he's good. He's not good. I gotta recharge my shield. Let's back.
You want to be on probably
right
on the corner that they're at right now is where you want to be. Or if possible, we all probably want to be on high ground, but the rotator was still too far.
Bubble for monkey behind, pressure him out, and soldier in.
Probably look to pin the monkey, or oh yeah, get the mercy. Yep. Now we can go look to deal with the monkey. Where's he looking for a res currently?
Oh shoot.
Yep, just look to get on top of him.
Overall thing. I didn't realize there was a monkey. Yo, look at that mercy.
It's fine, because we can land the big shadow next fight, right? Just make sure we're waiting on both bubbles, right? Enemy, the Zarya bubbles and the monkey bubble. As long as we dodge those out, we have nothing that can stop our shatter. Fire shake off cooldown, right? We're just trying to get our ult online.
Yo, Reaper TP'd upper left. Careful, Zarya. Shielding you out.
Yeah, right now we're down 2.
We're down 2.
Yep. So instead of just calling out we're down 2, say we're down 2, no ults, right? And then that way we're stopping soldier from ulting there, right? In a fight that you've probably already lost.
Okay, play this next corner back here. Chill out. I have no shield.
Right. So just remember the call out for when you've lost those fights, right? And you see that you're losing the fight is no ults, we lost, right? That way you're getting the main point across is get out, we've lost, right? And we don't want to use grab, we don't want to use visor.
Don't commit there.
Yep. Say back, we're down 2. Group up.
Punish this monkey.
Hey, they're on all bubbles, we can look for shatter.
Yeah, I'm gonna shatter here. Reaper inside of us.
Good decision in the back there.
I'm with you, Ryan.
Look at this monkey. Look at this monkey. I'm low. Ooh. Nice nano. Break lamp.
Remember, your pin can carry people outside of the lamp, right? That way we can bypass the lamp and not have it destroy it if we just kind of pin them outside of it.
Okay. Yeah, I never think about that. I always just think about the cleave.
Yep.
I stall. May, do you have stall?
Make sure charging back from spawn, right? That's very, very good mobility that we can get. And then that way we can maybe even touch point there. Alright, I'm gonna demonstrate some stuff again here. Alright.
Play of the game.
Alright, you watching the stream?
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, just make sure that's a very, very common thing. So unless, like the enemy's right in your spawn there, as Reinhardt, you're gonna look to charge out of spawn, right? And that way, look how much you can cover all this distance, right? Just super fast and get back to the fight. Probably like 2 times faster, right? So you can cut that like 10-second walk time in half to be more like 5 seconds. So So that's gonna be really handy. Second thing here is make sure you are tilting your camera. So first off, we'll try to find this perfect range here. Okay, so we found it. If you see here, I cannot hit them. If I look to their side, I can hit them further. So what this means is that you have your hitbox on your swing actually is much longer when you are swinging hitting from the side essentially. So what you want to do with your camera is while you're swinging for that purpose, along with the fact that you can hit multiple people at once, is you never want to stare straight at people. You always want to swing your camera. So we're gonna go essentially left, right. That's the kind of the standard one you can have that goes along with it, right? And we can just be hitting multiple people at once, whereas if we're just looking at this one person, this one bot, right, we won't hit this other bot, right? We're just hitting this bot. But what we want to be doing is where we want to make it to where we're hitting multiple people at once rather than just one person, right?
Okay.
So if these bots are split up, right, we can hit both of them at once by going like this, and we can hit both of them at the same time, because by swinging our camera around. So when we're on top, on a group of bunch of them, right, we're just gonna be going like this, right, and swinging our camera really around and getting a wide arc with our swing, right, to where we're hitting as many people as possible. With our fire strike, keep in mind that if you're like low HP or you're trying to sit behind cover, you can do like a peak fire strike. Since your fire strike has a charge up animation, we can charge it up and then turn around the corner. So like that, for example, right? So we don't really have to be out in the open for too long. We can just charge it up behind cover and then peek with it. Okay. When we land the shatter, kind of the typical combo you're looking for is fire strike as soon as possible, add in some cleave swings, and then right as they're about to wake up, then we look for a charge. Or if they're too far away, right? Let's say that we shatter people and they're all the way over there, right? And we can't really get to swing them. That's where we charge as well. So let's say
Would you still, sorry to interrupt you, would you still recommend, because I know that they nerfed the shatter, so obviously before you would want to crouch fire strike and then go forward, would you still recommend that, or jump fire strike and just to close the distance?
So what shatter nerf in particular are you talking about?
Where they're down on the ground for less time. So I know in the past you used to want to like take your time, crouch, fire strike through as many people as possible to get as much damage in, and then walk onto them.
It
But
depends
now,
on it depends on your distance from them. If you
okay,
need to, if you have walking distance, then you can't take the time to crouch. If they're an inch from you and you just go like this, it's not going to take much time, right?
right.
It's not going to be wasting as much time, right? So yeah, essentially you're going to fire strike, you're going to shatter, you're going to swing, and then right as they're waking up here, we can look to charge. I actually swung them to the side. You just want to be careful that you're not swinging them to the side out of your charge like I just did. That's just something to keep your eye out for. But right at the end, right as they're about to wake up, we can go for that charge, so that we're if they're still not dead, we can kill them before they're about to wake up, especially if they have a bunch of health left. If they're 1 HP, then go ahead and just swing another time or fire strike or whatever, right? But if it's a tank and they still have 300 HP left, then we add in the charge right at the end.
Yeah, I remember somebody saying that, that's like the best way to start building your next shatter is to pin a tank after you shatter them. So I try and do it, but yeah, I probably missed a few.
Yep, on Zarya as well. So the same thing. It's very similar to what we were talking about with a Reinhardt, but on Zarya we can do what's called kind of a, I don't even know what to call this, but you can right-click the ground while you jump, and you can actually speed up your travel time to where you're moving at a faster pace. So that's gonna be useful for when you're walking and trying to get back from spawn. And you just want to make sure, cause since you have shield health, it will auto heal you, right? You'll get that shield health back. You just want to make sure that you're not passing and going down into regular health, and then basically by the time you get back to the fight, they'll recharge, right? So you can do this 3/4 of the way back from spawn, and then just let our
walk back into the fight with 200 HP.
Yeah, and then just let it recharge right before you get back. But that can help speed your time up while you're walking back from spawn, as well as there's particular places where you can do this jump to get up to high grounds and whatnot. And there's actually some tech where you can launch you can do like a double jump with it, but we can't do this here, and that's also
I've
not really.
I've seen Hard Blue do that. It's not like in game.
Yeah, it's not going to be super applicable, so we won't take time to go over it. We have 7 minutes left, so I don't know if we're going to be able to go over a comp game. Would you like to do a quick
No,
play?
that's fine. I actually wanted to. Can you still see my screen?
Yes. 1 second. Let me bring that up. Yes, I can.
Okay, so um, I wanted to talk about pathing, and
Yep.
I was going to um, look at a map that I struggle with often is, and I do plan. Hopefully, it's okay. I plan
Uh,
to. Where is Volskaya?
kind of like how to get from point A to point B.
Yeah, I mean,
Would you
I
would
think you
you
could probably just explain it. So on
yeah.
point A, I know there's, you can rotate through left, go up, upper. Um,
Would you like me to stream this instead so I
yeah,
could?
yeah, yeah, you can do that.
All right. Um, just give me a second here. All Sky Industries.
And I actually had intended on doing 2 hours. I must have unselected that when I did it again.
Traveling
But I'll
towards
just
Uh,
Zarya
go through Fiverr
let's see.
again.
Yeah, okay, yeah, you did 1 hour. So if you would you like so because typically I also like I do allow people to do like a 2 hours in one, but typically I'll make it so that or I'll recommend just giving a kind of time in between so that they can work on the stuff I've talked about. So I'm not just going over the same stuff all the time. But
Hmm.
yeah, I mean like if you want to add on an I what I can do is I can give you a offer to like give an add-on here so we can literally just add on an extra session to this session if that's what you'd like to do.
Yeah, if you're down.
We just would have to also up the delivery time because I'd probably prefer to do this not today because I also haven't eaten dinner yet.
That no, no, don't worry about
Yeah,
it. That's fine.
so
I'll just go back through the do it through Fiverr.
mm.
You don't have to like offer any special deal or
Oh,
anything.
okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, yeah. That is fine. So why don't we just get into this then, and then we'll talk about that afterwards.
Okay.
So are we talking about attack specifically here? Is that what you're looking
Yeah,
at?
attack. So, for
Mm.
instance, earlier today I played a
Yep.
tank mirror match, Ryan Zarya. However, we had Sombra Tracer. They had Echo Soldier with a Mercy Pocket. And so obviously what that means is and they had Zen as well. So they had a lot of spam.
Hmm.
Makes it really difficult to pass certain areas.
Yeah.
We don't really have a hit scan, whatever. And so, I kept getting up to the truck there. By the time I made it to the truck, shield hopping forward, and having already expended Zarya bubble, they
Mm.
kept bubbling me early. I had 300 shield health, so I'm chilling behind that truck.
So the point from here to here.
No, I go out left is what
You
I
come out
was
left.
doing.
Okay, then they'll go out left, right? So if we're coming out left here, for example, right, that means that they can see us from like from either here or here, right, to the point that we get there, right? So they can shoot at our shield this entire point
Oh
time,
yeah, that's another
right?
no man's land.
Yep. Whereas if we're coming up through this right side angle and our goal is to go to the right side, all we have to do is hug this wall and look. They can't even see us, right? Unless they're up at like right there. They can't see us if we're hugging this right wall, and then we can hug this right wall, come in from here, and then now look. Now it takes us instead of 5 seconds to get to here, it takes us 1 second to get to here, right?
Okay, so
So
yeah, that it was a pathing
yep.
mistake. And then after that truck, obviously, my intention was to cross Enforce Point on the left side of the corner up there, and that was another situation where by the time I made it halfway across, all of our
That's
resources are over.
That's also going to depend on composition. So we can go over this. Oh, we have 3 minutes. We can go over this real quick. Is just composition. Let me get this link for you, or this picture for you real quick. Oh, actually, I don't know who the heck I've sent this to recently that would that I'd be able to copy paste this from. Actually, I might not be able to
That's fine. We can
at
save
some
it for
point.
next
Yeah,
time.
I'll I guess I'll try to find it, but in any case, essentially there's three different main compositions in the game, and then and then a mixture of them is what you call a hybrid comp. So there is spam comp. There's your spam comp, which is what they are running, right? Where this is any long distance comp. Spam comps want to play slow and they want to play far away from you, right? There's your brawl, which is Ryan Zarya brawl characters. This also includes like Mei Reaper, Lucio, Ana, Moria. Those are brawl characters. They want to play close range. They want to play fast. So right off the bat, those are opposites, right? They want to play far, you want to play close. They want to play slow, you want to play fast. Then there's also dive, which dive is complicated, so we're not going to get too far into that with 3 minutes left.
I'm familiar.
Yeah. And then you have hybrid, which is any mixture of the three. Anytime you're running a quote-unquote ranked comp, is a hybrid comp. In that situation, you're just trying to get picks. You play, if you have you play kind of most similarly to whatever comp or like whatever comp you have the most of, right? So if you have 3 of brawl, you might play a little bit more brawly. If you have 3 of dive, you might play a little bit more divey. But you're playing very split with that. But in any case, if they're running spam and we're running mainly brawl, we're not gonna look to take left side. We're gonna look to run straight into them, right? Because we want to minimize the time this fight is taking and the distance we're putting between them, right? So we want to play fast. We want to play close. They want to play far. They want to play slow. So if we're going left side, this is putting distance between us, which is playing far, and this is delaying how long this fight is taking, which is playing slow, right? So if we know that our comp is more brawly than theirs and their comp is more spammy, we therefore need to be playing at a faster pace. So instead of going left, we now run straight into them here, right? We shield hop in, right? We start swinging on them. We start fire striking, right? Whatever. We do all that stuff. And then that should work out a little bit better for you rather than just trying to take all the spam.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense to me. That would have worked probably.
So once we get to let's say we get to this point, is there anything else that you're confused about pathing, or should we move on to the second point?
No, yeah, I'm good on first.
All right. So second point, the big thing is we're always looking to get from one piece of cover to the next piece of cover. Here we have a few different options. We can take high ground. We can go main. I'd probably say you can try main to start off, and then if it's not working, you try to mix it up. Okay. If we need to, we can come high ground. High ground allows us to kind of bypass some of this walkthrough time, where from high ground we can come around, and then now we're pretty much already here, right? So that's again cutting out on time where you're out in the open. But if you're coming through main, you're gonna look to do something like this, where we're hugging cover, right, and then we're hopping in, and then we're taking this right, these boxes. We're always looking to go from cover to cover, because we don't want to just walk straight down this open area, right? Because then we're taking a whole lot of damage. From this cover, we can look to move to that or to the right there. The left side might be a little bit better because we have the health pack and we have it's closer than this right side. So we look to come like this, and then again, if this is gonna depend on what comp they're running or whatever, right? We probably just want to run onto whoever is on point, right? If they don't have anybody on point, let's say they're all playing high ground, right? Then we have to try to get beneath them, right? To where we're kind of contesting. It's a really awkward angle for them to shoot at us from, or that's kind of the best we can do, and we're trying to get them to come to point, right? Because they have to stall point at some point. And we're running on whoever comes to point, right? So we're always trying, if we're on brawl and we're playing a close range comp, we're always trying to close space to get to them as fast as possible and get on top of them.
Okay. One last question before I know we're about time. Say you're doing that and you're basically trying to shield off high ground and try and make it difficult for them, like they have hit scans or whatever.
Yep.
Should you be the one to walk on to who's on point, or should you continue
to shield off the people on high ground? I think it depends heavily on how much health you have, how much shield health you have. If you don't have it, if you don't have the health to back it up, you can't put down shield to go and swing. But if you do have the ability to swing, you want to swing, because if you blow that person who dropped the point up, right? Let's say it's a tank and they die, what's the enemy team gonna do now to contest point?
stagger?
Yep, they stagger on, right, and now they're sending maybe squishies on the point, which are even easier to kill, right? So if we really just want to, at that point, pressure point. And if none of this is working, right, let's say we capped first point with 6 minutes, and we've been going at this for, like, 5 minutes already, right, and we have a minute left or whatever, right? Don't try to keep doing the same thing over and over again. Mix it up. Go try top right. Try wrapping all the way around top left. You can try going in. Well, we can try even something complicated and coming in left side and coming up to this this angle, right, and just wrap around, and we can push them off of high ground. We can try something like this where we literally just run around, and now they're forced to drop off high ground because we're just sprinting at them, right? And then we can do that to clear them. Just mix it up because I know this isn't... I wouldn't literally define insanity like this, but there's a common phrase out there that's the definition of insanity is doing something over and over again the same way and expecting a different result. Now, of course, I don't believe that applies in every situation, but that does definitely apply in situations like this, where if you're doing the same thing over and over again, where you're just trying to run down main and expecting something to change, right? If you're doing the exact same thing 6 times in a row, try mixing it up, try taking a different angle, because you just might find that maybe it's just your team does really well going high ground, or your team is a lot better at the running them off high ground like strat than they are at knowing how to survive running down main, right?
Okay.
All right,
Yeah,
so
good.
I'm gonna end the recording here.